Hey there. Welcome back to Marketing Matchmaker, where we cut through the noise, simplify the strategy, and help you build a business that actually works without burning out, selling out, or sacrificing your sanity in the process. Today's episode is going to dive a little deeper because we're not just going to talk about funnels and offers and lead gen. Today, we're talking about what happens when you build a business or a marketing strategy based on what you think you should do. I'm talking about following the blueprint that some expert told you would work, even if it doesn't feel right, even if you're secretly miserable, even if you're forcing yourself to show up on platforms you hate in a way that drains you for clients who aren't even the right fit. If that's where you're at right now, I see you. And quite honestly, I was you. So I wanted to share a story that completely shifted how I think about building and scaling a business. Let's rewind for a second. If you're relatively new here, you may or may not know that I had a full service digital marketing agency that I scaled to multiple six figures. We had the clients, the team, the revenue, the results, the whole thing looked textbook example of success. I did everything I thought I was supposed to do. Built out a full service team, offered done for you packages, scaled with systems and retainers, followed the blueprint that those experts said would get me to seven figures. And guess what? It worked on paper. But here's the truth. I wasn't saying this out loud. It was something I never told anyone. And it actually was something that it took me a while to realize. I never wanted this type of business. I didn't love managing a team. I didn't love being in the weeds of the client delivery. And I sure as heck didn't love creating marketing content for my business that felt forced and fake because I was trying to sound like the experts I was following. I was building the business I thought I should build because somebody told me to. And slowly, it honestly started to suck the life out of me. I was exhausted, overwhelmed, and burned out. And marketing, man, don't even get me started. It was so hard to show up, to sell, to stay consistent because the business didn't feel aligned for me. I wasn't excited about what I was promoting because deep down, it wasn't really what I wanted to grow. In fact, I remember texting my business coach once, asking her, "Do you ever feel like just walking away from it all?" And her response was no, and we need to figure out why you do. I was burned out, so I shut it all down, and I started over. When I finally stopped building what I should, I started asking myself, what do I actually love? What parts of my business light me up? Because it wasn't the business. I frankly love marketing. I love all of the aspects of it. I even love ads and funnels and copy and all of those things, the messaging, everything that goes along with it. So what was it about the agency that I did love? The answer became incredibly clear. I loved consulting. I loved working with my clients to develop the strategy. I love that big picture thinking, helping my clients map out aligned, sustainable marketing that felt good and worked. That's the stuff that never felt like work to me. So after I burned down the agency, I rebuilt my business around those pieces. And here's the thing that nobody tells you. It was harder than I thought it would be. It took time to gain traction. It took patience to rebuild my audience and my message. And every step of the way, I felt energized. I knew I was building something that fit me, that I loved. The marketing, the messaging, all of it became easier to do. This podcast in and of itself became almost automatic. And now I have a business that doesn't feel like a grind. I actually enjoy the marketing of this business and I enjoy the business itself because I'm not pretending. I'm not forcing myself into someone else's strategy. I'm doing it in a way that is aligned with who I am, with what I want to do, and it works. That's what I love to do with my clients when it comes to marketing, is really helping them to find the strategy that aligns most with what they want to do. Let's talk about why this shows up in your marketing. Because if your visibility feels exhausting, your content feels flat, or your funnel just isn't converting, there's a good chance you're doing what you were told you should do. You've probably received this advice. Post reels X times a week, 5, 4, whatever you heard. Build a freebie and an email funnel. Run Facebook ads. No, wait, do organic. No, wait, go on TikTok. Wait a minute. Let's use YouTube. Say this, not that. Use these hooks. Follow this formula. And listen, the reality is those strategies do work when they're aligned with you. But no strategy works for everybody. Marketing has to fit who you are first, and then your business and who you want to attract. If you're forcing yourself to create a webinar you hate, or dancing on TikTok when you'd rather teach in-depth content, or maybe you're running ads to an offer you're not excited about, your audience is going to feel that, and that won't convert. Not because the offer is wrong, but because the energy behind it is off. The message that you're creating doesn't feel like you, and authenticity is the key to every aspect of your business. So instead of building your marketing around the shoulds that people tell you to do, build a business that feeds your marketing. I want you to hear this loud and clear. Your marketing is never going to feel effortless and authentic if your business isn't aligned with what you actually want. And your marketing isn't going to be effortless and authentic if you're forcing yourself into roles you don't fit in. So instead of asking what's the fastest way to scale, start asking what's the right way for me to grow and scale. I always love to turn these into actionable steps. So let's start with your shoulds. Write everything you're doing in your business down on a piece of paper. Your offers, your services, the platforms, the funnels, the messaging. And then ask yourself, this is something I didn't do, so ask yourself if it's what you want to do. Is this aligned with how you want to grow your business and your marketing? Or do you think you should do this because someone else told you it would work? If something feels heavy or forced or frankly soul-sucking, that's going to be a big red flag on something that you're going to want to remove from your daily marketing or even your daily business model. Also, get crystal clear on what you actually want in this business. And I want you to go beyond the monetary, because while that is an important part, it's not the only part. So what parts of the work that you do you love? Do you love working one-on-one with clients, or do you love working with groups, or is it a combination, or is it neither? What does your ideal day look like? What do you actually want to do? Who do you want to work with? How do you want to show up in your content? What do you want to be known for? The reality is these questions will lead to your roadmap. And quite frankly, it is how business owners scale to 7 figures and beyond. There is not a business owner out there that has created a business strategy or a marketing strategy that sucked the life out of them and actually scaled it to 7 figures. Because I promise you, they will burn out before they get there. Once you have that roadmap, make sure that your marketing is aligned to that. When you build your marketing around your strengths, your passions, your ideal clients, you honestly stop faking it. You start attracting the right people. You start showing up in a way that creates confidence in who you are and what you do. You show up more naturally and more consistently because you're not swimming upstream trying to do something and fit yourself into a box that doesn't fit. Quite honestly, I had a client come to me and he did just that. He was trying to fit himself into a box. And there were things that he tried that he just didn't like. The thing is when we created a strategy that actually fit him, he was very clear on what he wanted to do in his business. The marketing around it was where he was a little hazy. When we fixed a marketing strategy that fit him as a person, not only did he start getting clients, but the content came easy and he was able to get more and more clients. Quite frankly, now his goal when we started working together, he had 0 clients. His goal was to hit 250,000 in revenue. And he did that in less than a year. That's the power of creating marketing that actually fits who you are and attracts the clients you want to work with, because it's not an if or, it is a both. So let me bring this full circle. I built the multi-6-figure agency because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And even though it was successful, it was exhausting and it drained me and it never really felt like mine. Because I didn't love it, I kept hitting a ceiling where I couldn't scale it. When I shut it down and built a business based on what I love, even when it was hard, everything else changed. I was able to create that multiple 6-figure business model that left me energized and excited and happy to work every day. So if you're building a business based on what someone else told you to do, or you're stuck in a marketing strategy that isn't working, I want you to hear this. You can stop. You get to reassess. You get to choose to do something different. Find the business model and the marketing strategy that fits you, one that energizes you, one that you actually want to wake up to every morning. Because that, my friend, is where the gold is. All right, that's it for today. If this episode made you rethink the way you've been showing up in your business or your marketing, share it with your business bestie. Post it to your stories and tag me at Virtual Marketing Experts. And if you're tired of building from shoulds and want help finding a marketing strategy that actually feels good to implement and works for the business you want, let's talk. Book a strategy call. Head over to yourmarketingmatchmaker.com and let's make it happen. I promise that you will walk away with at least one actionable item that will help you to grow your business, increase your revenue, and scale your impact. Until next time, ditch the blueprint, ditch the shoulds, and start building what you actually want, because I promise you, you've got this. Thank you for listening to the Marketing Matchmaker podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love to hear your feedback. Please head over to Apple, iTunes, and leave a review so we can hear from you. And if you are a coach, consultant, or online course creator who are looking to grow your business, increase your income, and scale your impact, connect with me at yourmarketingmatchmaker.com. I look forward to hearing from you.